Disclaimer, I am blind and I'm using an iDevice, so if the video isn't good, well, sorry, but that's just what happens when I make a video. Hi everybody, it's Wednesday night and Big Brother's on, and the question of the hour today, number 1, who wins the veto? Number 2, are the noms going to stay the same or are they not? To catch people up, Natalie is head of household right now, and so is Michelle. The America's Care Package thing was a co-head of household, and Michelle won that. And Nikori, they finally titled Nicole and Corey. That's a showmance that has developed, and I just heard it called Nikori. And Nikori and James Ali, that is not the official title of their showmance, but that's what I'm going to call it until I hear it said otherwise. Nata James? No, James. I like to call it James Ali better than I like to call it Nata James. But although if somebody calls it Nata James, I'll just anyway. Nikori and James Ali have teamed up, and Natalie and Michelle are co-heads of household, probably just for this week. And Paul and Victor, them two are up on the block for right now. So the question is that the way the block's going to look come the end of the veto meeting, or what's going to happen exactly? We'll find out, and if there's anything else that's actually worth vlogging about, I'll vlog about it. Well, everybody handles being on the block in their own way. Right now, Paul's going off. Paul, thank you for keeping Zingbots, yeah, right, and our country safe. Your job here is done. Does that mean those damn red alerts can stop? Does that mean we can have a veto meeting without the freaking red alert going off?
I can't believe it's made with real simple ingredients.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is what kind of veto comp is this going to be? I have always thought of a veto comp as like running around and like oh jeez. Superstorm watch. There's been Superstorm Glenn, Superstorm Jose. Is this gonna go long enough for there to be Superstorm Devon? Apparently Superstorm everybody who got evicted previously. Okay, what kind of veto comp is this going to be? I've always thought of a veto comp as, like, I'll do this later. Dang. Okay, they're not going to pick players for the veto competition and then go right around, turn right out, go right straight into the veto. Let me say this. I've always thought of vetoes as go outside and run around and get active and I've always thought it was like a physical comp and endurance comp kind of thing. They have been playing news bulletins all night about superstorm season in the Big Brother house. We've had Superstorm, we've had Superstorm Glenn. We've had Superstorm Jose. We've had Superstorm Frank. I bet we have Superstorm Devon by the time this is over, whether or not I see them see it or they just see it on their own. I mean, they've been going through all of the evictees. Now, how is this? I mean, these news bulletins all night, this reminds me of those HOHs where Julie would say, here's some multiple choice questions about the breaking news bulletins you saw last night. this does not make me think veto. This makes me think HOH. And really, honestly, the first one that I saw, I was like, why are they doing this? It's not time to do HOH. And then I was like, wait a minute. It is time to do veto. Okay, this is weird. I gotta find out what this veto comp is like. Okay, honestly, Paul is still their target. I mean, he did just totally go off, and I wasn't really against Paul before, but, you know, with what, you know, I mean, let's face it, if I was in this game, I'm not sure how I would react if I was on the block. Which it's part of the game. Well, I wouldn't make it in that house for a lot of reasons. Number one, frankly, I don't see how you can... If they ever do a disabled Big Brother, will I apply? Nah. I doubt it. I don't think I can make it in that house. Would I be interested to watch? Definitely. But I wouldn't make it in that house because, number one, most if not all of the comps, I don't know how you can do any of them if you can't see. Number two, I'm too emotional. I've got too much of a conscience. Stabbing people in the back and lying and etc., I just couldn't do it. I wouldn't make it. I'd be one of the first evicted because, I mean, if the one that's got the best conscience, I don't mean to bash anyone that's in there right now, but if having a conscience and not having the heart to keep people, to stab people in the back and not having the memory or whatever to keep your lies straight is if that disqualifies you from being a house guest, then I wouldn't make it. I'd be like the first out or the second out because I just wouldn't be able to do that stuff. Okay. So it did happen outside. The veto comp did, and what happened was, first of all, no, there wasn't a Superstorm Devon because it was just the first four. Anyway, or no, it wasn't just the first four. It was, oh, whatever. The point is, it didn't go long enough for there to be a Superstorm Devon. But the idea is, the BB Weather Channel is trying to find a new field correspondent, and the idea is that they're trying to read this stuff correctly, and the blanks, they don't just get to read the script. The script has blanks in it, and they got to remember, okay, what is this information? Which superstorm was this information about? What did I hear last night? And then they have only X number of seconds maybe to come up with, oh yeah, it was that, and then they throw that name out. And so far people are dropping like flies. I don't have to watch the veto meeting to know that the noms are about to change. Paul just won the power of veto. I mean, Paul is on the block, and Paul won the power of veto. And there's no way in hell he's not going to take himself off the block. So we'll just have to see what happens. So now, I mean, are you finished? Either Natalie or Michelle is going to have to nominate somebody else. She's been considering, I mean, one of them's been considering, I think it's Natalie, going back on her alliance and putting Corey up. And yet, I think the other's trying to put Nicole up, or I don't... I've heard Nicole, I've heard Corey, I've heard Final Four, showmance couples, I've heard a lot of stuff. So, all I know is one of those orange chairs is about to become available, and someone's gonna have to go up in their place. So, we'll see what happens. Okay, what just happened in the past 60 to 90 seconds? I told you that things were going to change. I knew things were going to change as soon as Paul won the veto. As completely expected, Paul used the veto to save himself. Michelle had to nominate someone else. She chose Corey. So now it's Paul versus Corey. And we're going to have to watch tomorrow to find out who makes it and who doesn't. Okay, I will see you tomorrow night for the eviction. Well, I say that because it's Wednesday and the eviction's tomorrow night as I record this. Who knows what day it'll be when you see this. It's probably not going to be tomorrow night when you... Well, whenever you see it, whenever this video posts, I will see you for the eviction. And until then, I hope you are liking what you are seeing. I hope, if you are, you'll like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be the eviction. I'm kind of having a slow week. But, you know, you kind of got to like a slow week sometimes. Bye.